Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a Lego set. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes if you feel like being a lurker. Hey, you can just go ahead and lurk. That's also a thing you could do if that's something you wanted to do. Ghost Valve is here. Hello, Ghost Valve. Welcome, welcome. Thank you to everybody that came out for my stream. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome. Came out for my stream on Saturday. Normally I build model kits and Lego sets, but on Saturday I played a video game. I ran CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K24, and thanks to your and many other folks' generosity, hey, Lord Crashington, I raised $261. I'm very pleased to say that. Is that a tremendous amount of money? No. Is it more money than that Extra Life had before I started streaming? Yeah. So it was some amount of money, and so I feel good about that. I ran CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K24. I discovered a new thing, which is apparently now there's slowdown sometimes when you have too many wrestlers in the ring, which I had not encountered before, and there's a toggle to help with that, which great. You think they would just make that the default, but whatever. I don't know. I should make a video about that because oh, you know what? Actually, sorry, we're gonna get into Lego and all that, but I do want to look at this. I haven't looked at this in a while. I want to see how many views my WWE 2K24 post about how to do CPU versus CPU matches, because I did one of those the last couple of years, and they always do pretty good. So let me look up CPU. Okay, so yeah, in March 5th of this year, I put up how to set up CPU versus CPU matches WWE 2K24, and let's look at the analytics of that. It has been viewed 2.1 thousand times, which is great. It is done well. The previous video that I did, WWE 2K24, let me see that one. What's 23? Let's see how that's doing. That's probably still doing well. I've done this the past 3 years. And that video has been viewed 3,000 times, which makes sense. They're short little videos, which is fine. I can even see that people find the thing that they want to know and then they stop watching it, which is great. I try to make them over a minute because that way I get a little bit of money. Aristofan's here. Hey, Aristofan. But yeah, I should make a video like what to do if there's slowdown in WWE 2K24. I'll just, or 2K20, yeah, 24. I'll just make that video probably this week because some people will want to know. But yeah, it went well, and I appreciate everybody that tuned in, and especially folks that donated. If you couldn't donate, or if you didn't watch the stream, that's okay. You can donate still if you wanted to. Extra Life, there's a link there, and yeah, if you wanted to, but you don't have to. All right, let's go to the overhead. What are we working on here? Well, so this was the Halloween build, and now it's November. Obviously, didn't finish it on Thursday. This is the Lego Minecraft Skeleton Dungeon. We did get a lot done with it on Thursday, but we didn't finish it. We got Steve here. We got a skeleton. We have 2 more skeletons to build, so we will be doing that. We're in bag 2 right now. We're building it up. There is a effect here. I'm going to lift this so you can see. There's the thing in here, and it spins when this goes. So we got a little bit of a fun little bit of interactivity here. But yeah, we're just building up the skeleton dungeon, and we will continue doing that. I talked about it on stream on Thursday. This is the first time I am ever doing anything on one of these streams with Minecraft on the channel. I have played Minecraft before. It's been a very long time, but I have played it. This is just the first time that I'm doing anything Minecraft related on a Build with Bear or even one of my bonus streams. I've never played Minecraft on a Tuesday on here. And I don't necessarily have any intention to do so in the future. But, you know, tis what it is. All right, we're going to put it like that. I think that's one. Yeah, okay, that's how it wants to go. Great. Oh, and of course I'm dealing with a little bit of, I gotta position this booklet because every once in a while I'm just getting hit with bad light reflection. That's what I want to say. All right, I need a 1x2 green, dark green 1x2. Got it. Here it is. Put that there. Oh, and then underneath it, a 1x6 light gray. Here it is. Great. We're in bag 2. I have also nulled bag 3. I did it off camera. And I also know what I'm doing after this stream, or after this build is done. I know the next thing I'm building, it is an older kit, but it is a reissue. I am unaware of when the reissue came out, but the original kit was 2003. And so sometime after 2003, this kit was released. And I know that because this box is blue, which indicates generally a re-release. And also, it's smaller than it would have been when it first came out. So the plastic itself is probably not from 2003, but the design is from 2003. So it's not like it suddenly got, more complicated or anything like that. It's just that it was a reissue. I got 2 reissues for a good little price at USA Gundam Store a while back. I've got a decent amount of my backlog. I would describe it as decent right now. It still could be better. I am going to be making some more purchases soon for my backlog of things to build. But right now it is looking okay. Ooh, that's nice. I got a nice little overhead shot of what we're doing here. So it's like, I'll put these like this, and then it shows you how it looks. That's nice. That's a nice bit of business right there for me. Let's talk about WWE's Crown Jewel. This is a show that I did not watch, but we can talk about the results. I decided I was not going to watch these shows. I do not watch the shows that take place in Saudi Arabia. And that also includes, I don't often watch Monday Night Raw, but tonight's Monday Night Raw is in Saudi Arabia, and I will be avoiding it. The same way that I did not watch the last time they did a Saudi Arabia show this year, they did SmackDown from there, and I did not watch that either because I don't want to. It's honestly pretty simple. Okay, so this goes on top of that like this. This goes on top of this like that. And then these two go here and here. But we can talk about the results. We had a match with Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu, a.k.a. The Bloodline, versus the Old Bloodline of Roman Reigns and the recently reunited Usos. So we had the Bloodline defeating, the new Bloodline defeating Old Bloodline, which I was unsure about this one. I wasn't sure if we were going to see, because I wasn't sure, it makes sense that this bloodline just got reunited and they're not going to be able to pull off the victory. They need a full crew. They need Paul Heyman. They need Sami Zayn. They still have stuff they need to do. And then they can win at Survivor Series. That's my general consensus on that one. Because whoever lost this is probably winning Survivor Series because you add in more and then you got it. That's my guess. But also, Sammy got involved mainly because he's still tight with Jay mostly. And he and Roman have to have a talk. And I assume that's what Thursday is. Friday. I assume this Friday we will have some sort of conversation with them and kind of figure that shit out. Because I imagine that Survivor Series is Bloodline versus Bloodline 4-on-4. It could be 5-on-5, but I feel like it's probably 4-on-4. But I might be wrong. I don't know who the fifth would be. People were like, oh, it'll be Cody. But I think Cody isn't booked for that show, I guess, if I remember correctly. Or he's not going to get booked for that show. All right, so I have to put this on here. This is going to go like this. No. Going to go like this. And then I thought it... Wait, but it... Why do I put this on it? Why is it on one of these if it doesn't spin? Because it's on a spinner. So you would imagine that it would spin if it's on a spinner. So maybe I put it wrong? Okay, it's got to go like this. This feels like a thing where it would be nice if there was a bit more information about how this goes on. Because right now I'm not getting that information. But I think it would go like this. Okay, and then if it goes like that, it does move. Okay. So this down now pivots around. And then I think once there's something else there, it won't be wobbly because this part would actually be attached to something else. And it can go like that. That's kind of cool. All right. That's fun. All right. Yeah. And then we're going to put this piece on like this. That adds some... Okay. That does add stability. Great. Figuring it out. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair retained their women's tag championships belts against Damage Control, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky, the Meta-4, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson, Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven. I had predicted that Piper and Chelsea were going to win this one because I thought that was the most fun outcome because maybe it would hurry along the eventual breakup of Jade and Bianca. We did not get that. There's still time. But also, I think it would just be funny for Chelsea and Piper to have that because I think they would do good work as tag champs. And also, with there being 4 teams, it would mean that Jade and Bianca didn't have to get pinned. But they did win. And I guess that's fine. Like I said, it's not my favorite outcome, but it certainly isn't. I was just about to say it is an outcome, which is a very weird thing to say. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be fine. I thought the match itself was all right. I believe that Io Sky has some wrestling in her future, upcoming solo work in her future. So that should be good for her. But yeah, it seems like she's got some stuff to do, so that makes more sense that they didn't win. But again, I think it would have been really funny if Piper and Chelsea had won it. Seth Rollins defeated Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed came to the ring, and his ring gear was inspired by MF Doom. May he rest in peace. And that fucking rules. Hell yeah, Bronson Reed for the MF Doom gear. That was cool as hell. Yeah, Seth Rollins won. Seth Rollins did need a win. He has not won on a pay-per-view in quite some time. And it looks like their feud isn't over, which is also good. I would love to see Bronson get a win back on TV or something. But it makes sense for Seth to pick up the victory there. And reportedly good match. Again, I didn't see it. Reportedly good match. Yeah, after the match, he won, and then Bronson got up and looked scary, so he still gets something. In the first of the 2 champions versus champions matches, the world champions fought each other, and the winner of the world championship match became the Crown Jewel champion, where they're given a gaudy, awful-looking belt that lives in Saudi Arabia, and instead they just have a ring. Liv Morgan defeated Nia Jax. I thought Nia was going to win this one. To me, it made a lot of sense. I also thought that Tiffany Stratton was going to cash in on someone. Instead, Liv Morgan won. And I guess the crowd was cheering for her because it was heel versus heel, so you go with the fun heel that has been a good babyface before, a decent babyface before that. So it's all right. I guess. Um, I'm not super bothered by that. Again, they don't get to carry the belt around, so it's like it doesn't. None of that matters. I mean, it's wrestling; nothing really matters. But it's like okay. Um, let's see. But yeah, there was a lot of interference, even though it was technically the babyface in the match. There was still a ton of interference going on, which you would expect. There was a no contest in Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, which, like, yeah, I guess, like, if Kevin is not going to face Cody, which is apparently true, that Cody and Kevin are not happening at Survivor Series, then it makes sense to make this a no contest. Uh, Lots of nonsense in that. Ooh, I dropped some KBPS, but it looks like we're back in it, baby. My apologies. Coming right back. But yeah, look, some nonsense happened there. Basically, it wasn't a match. They should, it's one of those things. Like, obviously, it's entertainment and all that, but like, logically, quote unquote, logically, you just wouldn't make that a regular match because they don't want a regular match. They want to kill each other. But it does mean that maybe Survivor Series they will have a no DQ match or a falls count anywhere or something, and that would make a bunch of sense. All right, so we're gonna go here, and we're going against. Let's see, which way do you have me? You have it like this. So then this goes like here. All right. Yep, so it moves around like that. Moving around. Building some stuff. Then it just shows me, I got these three here. So we got to put 3 of these around. Let's see. LA Knight retained the U.S. Championship, and the thing nobody was picking anyone but LA Knight here. This is like, come on. LA Knight was going to retain. He just got a new band for the belt. He was keeping it against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. I want a break between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. I think they do work well together, but I feel like their best of 7, 8, 9 has just gone on. It has happened way too week to week, and there hasn't been a break in it. And I just like don't particularly care anymore. I would like to care, but it is they are making it difficult for me to care about this particular pairing of wrestlers. Okay, so I need really dark. Oh, there it is. Really dark brown. There and please. But yeah, and making it also with LA Knight, that it just feels, it doesn't feel great right now, this particular storyline. I'm hoping that this is the end of that. Maybe Carmelo and Andrade take a break, go after different things. Maybe one of them feuds with LA Knight just solo. I would like LA Knight to lose the belt by the end of the year so he can get into the main scene, maybe turning heel against Cody. Look, I don't think Cody Rhodes is losing that belt before WrestleMania, but a Royal Rumble where a Royal Rumble match of LA Knight, heel LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes, like that sounds pretty good to me. I think that those two would work pretty damn well together. I think the promos would be good. So like, I don't know, I'd be up for it. But I do think he can drop the U.S. title at some point, and they can just work with some other wrestlers, that could use it more now. And I guess in a triple threat down the line, one could pin the other, and then he doesn't actually have to get pinned to lose the belt. I don't know, something like that. And then let's see, yeah. Yeah, Milo took the pinfall, which makes sense. I also could see. I also somebody was saying on a message board that I frequent. They proposed the idea of Andrade and Mello being an unlikely tag team. Like they still don't like each other, but they're a tag team. And I don't love that idea, but I also don't hate that idea. But also, I would just like them to have something. So maybe that works. Um, let's see. And then Cody Rhodes is the Crown Jewel champion. He defeated Gunther. This one, like, I know some people were like, oh, I genuinely don't know how this is going to go. The crowd would still be into Gunther winning. But, like, if someone's going to eat a loss there, it's Gunther. It's not Cody, because Cody losing a singles run makes him a weak champion. Gunther losing is bad, but yeah, I don't know. But they sold it. It was a good match. It's a match that I would like to see. It's a reportedly good match. It's a match I would like to see at some point. I hope they run it back and somewhere where I can watch it comfortably. Um, but yeah, and then they shook hands, which is nice. Uh, and then yeah, Cody is the crown jewel champion, and then Liv came back out and they held up their belts that they don't get to keep. They get a ring they get to wear around. I had joked about how, like, oh, that's very funny. That I was like, oh, you won't see them. You might see them hold the belts on Monday, but you won't see them hold the belts like at any point in the future. And that turned out to be damn true, because they don't get to walk around with those things. Those belts live in Saudi Arabia until next year. But you keep the ring, and I guess the idea is that if you're world champion again, you can collect rings. And I'm like, okay, sure. Ugh. I mean, they're going to keep doing these shows. There's nothing, you know, there's no way that's going to end. I mean, eventually, I guess Saudi Arabia could decide that it doesn't benefit them enough to justify the high cost of it. But yeah, it's not great. It's not great. And that's, yeah, WWE 2K, 2K24. That's the WWE's Crown Jewel 2024. 7 matches on the card, more than their usual pay-per-views these days, except for the main ones. But Survivor Series will probably have less matches because the War Games is probably happening, and that's going to be real long. But I imagine we're going to get Kevin versus Randy with the stipulation. I hope we see some other belts on the line. I would like to see the tag belts. I think Motor City Machine Guns on a pay-per-view defending those tag belts would be really nice. The Raw tag belts, I think, or no, the SmackDown tag belts, so they'll be good. Good old Motor City Machine Guns. They look good. They look like they belong. It's nice to see them. I hope they're getting fucking goddamn paid. They're getting paid real goddamn well. Put that there. Put that there. I think I have all the parts I need to make whatever I'm building right now. That is the fun thing about this particular build. I'm not fully sure what I'm doing. But that's fun. Oh, I need one of the... A dark brown. Oh, here it is. Found it. Found the piece I could not find. I definitely think we're going to finish this Lego set tonight. It looks like, to me, it looks like that's definitely going to happen. And we might see, yeah, I think in hour 2, I will start working on the RGM 779D GM Cold Districts type. The Cold Districts type. I imagine I will begin that. Put this here. Put this here. Okay. Got some gaming news and such to talk about here. Dragon Age: The Veilguard is selling very well. It is apparently exceeding the expectations that EA put out. It is their biggest single player game launch. Again, single player game launch on Steam. Uh, and that also includes Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So it's immediately it's their biggest opener. Um, Single game launch on Steam to date. Yeah, Star Wars Jedi from last year. Uh, Broke player records for them, which is great. Um, I am not necessarily going to be playing this one. I'm not. I skew a bit more Mass Effect than Dragon Age personally. I haven't enjoyed the Dragon Age games, but I don't have any. I don't have any plans to pick this up anytime soon. But I'm glad it's selling well because I like seeing single player games sell well. You know, like that's good to me. That if a single player game is doing well, that's good for gamers just in general and gaming. Lashmer says, not the WWE, but I watched Rampage and Collision today, and I'm very excited. It looks like they're breaking the claims up. Yes, Lashbrook. Holy shit. Max Caster stealing lines and from Bowens, and then when Bowens got, basically stole lines from him and looking really annoyed by it, please, please, please. Yes, please put Max Caster in a faction. Put him with the Hurt Syndicate where he doesn't need to talk because there are already an acclaimed great talker that you hired to be a great talker. And let Anthony Bowens do something. I don't know what else, whatever Anthony Bowens wants to do. Keep him with daddy ass for a while. I don't know. But I feel like there's so much money in Anthony Bowens. He is such a phenomenal talent. He's got such great charisma. He's so well liked by everybody. And Max Caster sucks. And I would love to see, Bowens hopefully break off and do his own thing. It'd be great. It'd be so great if he got to do that. In the world of AEW, I have not decided yet, folks, if I am going to. Actually, when is it? When is Full Gear? When's Full Gear 2024? I know it's a Saturday because all their show. Okay, it's November 23rd. So I will have to make a decision soon if I'm going to take that Saturday off or not. I have not decided yet. I did not take the last pay-per-view off, and I don't feel bad about that. But right now, the card. Let's see what's the schedule though. Sorry, let me look at the Wikipedia. AW Full Gear. Show me the Wikipedia page. There's the Wikipedia page. We've got a 0-hour match that I'm not interested in. Big Boom AJ with Big Justice in his corner versus QT Marshall. MJF versus Adam Cole or Roderick Strong. That could be fun. Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. That's going to be good. John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. I do want that. Private Party, apparently, I don't know where this got said. Oh, we know Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander. That's all but confirmed that's happening. Okay, so Fightful is reporting that because Statlander issued a challenge to Moné and we think she's going to accept it. Fightful is apparently reporting that Private Party is going to defend the AEW tag titles in a 4-way bout. AEW did announce that. Okay. 4-way contender series in the lead up. So basically a bunch of teams are going to be fighting each other and it'll be a 4-way fight. Okay, so that has been announced by AEW. That's not just Fightful reporting it. And so that'll be Top Flight, the Martin brothers versus the Outrunners. FTR versus House of Black. That'll be Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, Brody King. We don't know which members are of that. And then La Faction Ingonables. We don't know who from there versus the Acclaimed. And maybe the Acclaimed will win, and then they'll be in a contest, and they'll lose. One of them will get pinned, and that'll break them up for good. I don't love that MXM is not included in this as a possible tag team, but they wouldn't win, so that's not the worst thing in the world. I could see the easy math here is Private Party, the Acclaimed, Outrunners, and FTR, but I could also see House of Black being in there. Oh, good. That's going to the pay-per-view, the Costco match. Yes, Lashbrook, the Costco guy, one of the Costco guys. That match is going to be part of the 0 hour. Yes, because that will get eyes on the YouTube video, the free YouTube version, and then people might want to pay YouTube to keep watching the pay-per-view because they had such a good time. It is blatantly marketing, and here's what I say about that. I missed a piece somewhere along here. I missed something here. Oops. Let me go back and see. Yes, I did miss something. Sorry, hold on. Hold the fuck on. So this goes like this. I have that right. And I have this right. I believe I have this right. This looks like I have it right. Then we need this piece and this piece. Like that. So here's the thing. Yes, I know that Big Justice has a background in professional wrestling, was trained as a wrestler. I am aware of that fact. I do know that he did train to be a wrestler and has wrestled on the independent scene. But so have a lot of fucking people. And I don't... Okay, no. So what did I do wrong here? I am doing something wrong with this. And I... Okay. Oh, all right. I got it now. It goes here. And this goes like this. I got it now. Goes like that. Okay. So then this pistons this in and out. I got it. So I get it. I understand. He'll bring eyes to the product. He used to be a wrestler. QT helped train him. So it makes total sense to put them together in the ring. I get it. I understand it. I get all of it. Because sometimes when I said like, oh, this sucks, people were like, well, he's a trained wrestler. And it's like, yeah, that's fine. They don't need him. I need professional wrestling, TNA, WWE, AEW. This is not singling out AEW. This is all wrestling companies need to stop feeling so fucking goddamn desperate all the goddamn time. Because they feel so goddamn desperate always. They always feel so goddamn desperate, and I need them to fucking relax. Like, anyone with any sort of cachet in any other place liking wrestling is enough for everyone to lose their goddamn minds, and I need them to chill the fuck out about it. Like, when I find out that someone I likes wrestling, it's neat. It's cool. That's a fun thing where you're like, oh yeah? Oh, okay. At least aesthetically, Chappell Roan is like interested in wrestling. Okay, that's cool. But people lose their goddamn minds about it because they're so desperate for mainstream acceptance. And it comes off so sad. All right, so here's this part here. This thing, there's a little rubber stopper to make it so it doesn't just want to slide, but it slides back and forth. Again, you kind of have to force it so it doesn't just slide on its own. And then while it does that, this piece here moves around as well. What does this do? I don't know yet. I'll let you know when I know. All right, now we're in bag 3, and now we're going to build another skeleton. Oh, we're going to build, I think, 2 more skeletons. And one skeleton is going to have a box on its head. And it's going to have a purple bow, and then the other one will have the other bow. I think that's what they want me to do. They want to make 2 of them. I have enough parts for 2, so I'm going to make 2. I'd come across this later, and it was like, all right, now we're making another skeleton. But I've got the parts to make 2 skeletons, so I'm going to do it. Yeah, okay, there's supposed to be 3 skeletons. All right, enough about AEW. Oh, I guess, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be watching that and taking the 23rd off. I have to make a decision on that. Again, I didn't watch the previous one, so I might watch this one. Orange Cassidy, the man, is somebody that did some comedy stuff in my theater. I produced shows with him. I'm fucking psyched for him to be in what should be, anyway, the main event against Moxley. I don't think he's going to win because it doesn't make, to me, it does not make sense for Jon Moxley to lose his first pay-per-view defense of that title, as they are building him up as this overlord of this like nightmare faction. It doesn't quite make sense to me to have him lose. And so maybe I wish Orange Cassidy wasn't the defense. Now, if between now and that show, Moxley has a title match on, Dynamite or something, then it's like, oh, well, then it could go the other way. But no. I don't think he will, and I don't think he's going to lose to Orange Cassidy, unfortunately. Hey, here's a fun little thing. There's a Steam mod in the works that is a level that is called Earth City that was only from Halo 2 that was only on the demo. That was the E3 demo. It was a scripted demo created for E3, and people always wondered well, why didn't that come out? Why wasn't that in the game? It was basically just like a showcase demo thing, which at the time made a lot of sense. But people have been clamoring for it. But there is a mod. Let's see. They wondered, people wondered about that, but yeah, let's see. Only from here. Apparently, so it is a legit partnership between developers and modders. Basically, they work together to make that happen, and is like an approved mod, basically. This is like an update to Halo Master Chief Collection. November 9th, players on Steam will be able to finally play the Halo 2 Earth City demo. Original assets in Fallout 4 City were recovered. And they've been just trying to get it to work. Seems like there like a bunch of different modders worked on this to make it playable. And it's going to be in Steam Workshop as a free mod, of course. Because people were wondering if Halo Studios were going to do this themselves, if this was going to be a DLC or like a paid thing. But no, there's a bunch of modders working with developers, and they're it's going to be out in Steam Workshop on the 9th. And that's just cool. That was just a cool little thing because I thought it would be kind of fun to see. Let's see. Other news. Let's see. A UK studio named Radical Forge have a farming sim called Southfield, which is a physics based and kind of silly, apparently. Um, they laid off some people about 6 months ago and have announced that they have just gotten some funding. They just had a big round of funding. Um, but it looks like this funding came as in part because it is people who they fund local. They fund local, in this case, Yorkshire. And now the company, because of this funding, is looking to bring in what appears to be 15 new hires, because now they have the money so they can get Southfield to market. Because they didn't have the money before, which led to them laying people off. So good. I mean, good that they can hire more people. Bummer that they laid people off. The game sounds kind of fun. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, now I'm going to build whatever these things are. Here, need these things. Need this and this. Let's see. What other gaming news? Hey, the thing that people assumed was going to happen did happen. Congrats. Game Pass. Lots of people bought Game Pass so that they could play Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Which, people were like, that's going to sell a lot of Game Pass because that seems to be a good way to play Call of Duty. And so, yeah. Congratulations to Microsoft. All it took was buying Activision Blizzard King. I mean, hardware is down, but their earnings from that Game Pass looks good. And of course, they did also this year lay off a ton of fucking people across all their goddamn divisions. So, I'm not saying that's fucking good, because it's not, but they're making strides in other ways. That is a thing that people assumed would happen. So there you go. But yeah, their gaming revenue is up, even if their sales aren't doing particularly great. We are at, I don't want to say we're towards the end of the cycle, but I do think that like game sales are going to slow, or game console sales are going to slow. There will probably be a bump around the holiday for both systems, both major systems. But it's going to be a little rough for people for a bit. And then the UK gaming union, the IWGB Game Workers, are now over 1,500 members strong, which fucking rules. Whips ass. Good on them. The UK trade union, IWGB Game Workers, has expanded to over 1,500 members. They've grown a lot over the last year, and they have a manifesto to outline a vision for better video game industry, and explains it will continue fighting for workers' rights. They're going to lean on 5 core pillars: democracy, solidarity, solidarity and care, I should say, taking action, education, and equality and justice. So it's like, okay, yeah, hell yeah. Make your voices heard. Get the shit done that you need to do. All right, so I built all these little things, and then I built all this stuff, and then they're not having me do anything with it yet. So I don't know why I built it then, but I did build it, and we'll figure that out when the time comes. We'll do some green here. Build up some green. But yeah, congrats to them. Okay, so we got a little time left before the pause for the cause, and so I will just say, we just got raided. Welcome, raiders. Hello. Thanks for joining me here. Hello, thank you, raiders, for coming in. Appreciate you. We are working on this Lego set here. This was a set that I got specifically for Halloween, because it is the Lego Minecraft Skeleton Dungeon. But it felt appropriate to continue it. I wasn't going to stop just because it's not Halloween anymore. Let's see. Where's it? Okay. So yeah, if it goes like that, then there's there. Okay. I did want to take a brief opportunity here just to say, for folks in the United States, yes, indeed, so we got some skeletons. We got some skeleton figs right here. So Halloween season. For folks that are in the United States, tomorrow is election day. If you have not early voted and you're going out to vote, hell yeah. So I am not here to tell you who to vote for, how to vote. If you were going to vote in the presidential election or not, if you're going to vote for the next president of the United States, I am not here to tell you to do that. Follow your heart, follow your convictions. I will say that voting locally actually does matter. If you feel like you are in a state that is going to go one direction, either where you're going or against, if you're not in the swing state, and you don't feel like your voice matters, it does matter locally. There are people when they get to the voting booth that don't turn they don't turn it over. They don't look at the back. They don't see the initiatives. You know, I talked about how when I early voted this year, there were 2 initiatives, and I voted on those, and I felt grateful that I was able to vote on those 2 initiatives and have my voice be heard in that regard. But yes, there's always more than just the presidential election. Locally matters a lot for you. You can codify some stuff. Maybe some changes to your state's constitution are being pushed forth that you don't agree with. Maybe you're one of the states that is trying to legalize recreational marijuana in your state, and you can vote on that. Or how your taxes are being spent on road work, or other infrastructure things. Codifying maybe they're trying to sneak in some bullshit. They said they were putting out a referendum, but the referendum is worded poorly. There are a plethora of voting guides out there that you can take advantage of that will give you more information than I can presently giving you. You haven't seen a paper ballot in a while. So when I lived in Brooklyn, New York, I would go and vote at a place that had a 2-sided ballot card, a paper ballot, and I would fill it in with the pen that was provided, and then you went up to a machine and you scanned it, and then you confirmed it on the machine, and then you were done. Oh, and then you took the paper ballot and you handed it to somebody, and then you were done. When I early voted in the last election, which was a local one, I early voted a local one in New York. Then I went to a different location, and that was all computerized, and I didn't have to use a pen. And then in 2020, I absentee balloted because I was still registered in New York, because it was only a couple months after I had moved, and I hadn't fully registered to vote here and do all that. So I did absentee then, and that was obviously paper. And then when I voted here in South Carolina, that was all digital, and I didn't have to. I got a thing, I put it somewhere, I pressed some buttons, and then it printed out a thing, and then I took the printout to another computer and then fed that in, and then I was all good. And it is what it is. But But every system's a little different. Everybody's got their things. But yeah, what I was trying to say there is that if the presidential election is not your cup of tea, if you are abstaining from that, if you are writing in something, if you are just you do not feel comfortable voting for anyone in that, find out what your local stuff is. You may live in a state where people are running unopposed in local elections. You can still vote in those if you want. You can still do write-ins for those if you'd like to do that. There is probably something that genuinely will affect your day-to-day in a local matter that your voice can be heard, and those don't get as many votes because they are not sexy. And they don't get a lot of ad time. They don't get a lot of coverage. So at most you're going to see a billboard here or there, or in someone's lawn, it will say a name and you go, I don't know who that is. And then you find out, oh, okay, I do know who that is. But yeah, see what you can see there. And voter guides are usually pretty good. They don't always have everything, but they usually at least have the elections, if not the referendums, or the changes to the Constitution, or the amendments to the Constitution, say, or anything like that. Our voting machines print your results on paper ballot, which you then deposit into a different machine on top of what looks like a trash can. I always imagine it as shredding my vote. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Also, the states that just allow everyone to mail in, I'm so jealous of. I would love to just be able to mail in and not have to go anywhere. We early voted. Also, a thing in my county, the county thing, where we went to go early vote, there was a you could drive through. You mailed yours, nice. Yes, Aristophan, I wish. Oh God, I wish. I did it once. I did one absentee because I was in South Carolina, but still registered in New York, as I said. So I did that, and that was great. I thought that was neat. But what was it saying there? Oh yeah. Early voting, we could have. My dad usually walks with a cane, and he could have voted in the car and driven up. There was a long wait. You're running through your gas there. You're doing all that. But the other people in the car, wouldn't have been able to vote. So we would have been in line, and he would have driven through and then parked, I guess, because he would have been done before us, but not by much. Instead, there was a long line outside, and we had him wait towards the front of the line on a bench, and then he joined us when we got up to him, which was the best way to do that. We do have, for when he had surgery, a walker with wheels in the front. In our attic space. So we could have gotten that, but that does require me to go up into the attic, which I will do. I mean, I will do it. Don't get me wrong. I will do that if necessary, but we didn't do it. That's maybe for the best. Mine was on a screen, and it shows a printout of your choices before you confirm it for submission that it sends to some other part of the machine for collecting later, I guess. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Like I said, every state's doing stuff different. Everybody's figuring out their thing here and there. Good, hopefully it'll all work out. I am streaming tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern if you are looking for a fun time. If your voice if you want to do some voting, I'm playing the Jackbox survey game, which name escapes me, so I'm looking up the name of it. I should remember the name of it, but I don't. We will be checking out Jackbox Survey Scramble tomorrow night. I paid for this game. The last several Jackbox games, I got a code from friends. I did not get a code for the Jackbox Survey Scramble. I paid for it with my own goddamn money. And so we'll be checking out Jackbox Survey Scramble. And so you'll be able to vote on survey things. Who do you vote for Game of the Year 2024, asks Vicky. Jackboxing for America. So I would say, Vicky, that my Game of the Year for 2024 is probably Balatro. A game that I stopped playing because I got really mad at it, but then secretly went back to and started playing again. It's so fucking good. Balatro is so goddamn good that it's pretty easily, definitely my game of the year. I don't do a top 10 for games. I have not done that in quite some time. I do enjoy the gaming, talking about gaming and stuff. But yeah, I don't. Here's the thing: I don't play enough games really, because I pick up a few games here and there. I have bought Balatro 3 times as a wrist fan. I have bought Balatro twice, so I'm not there yet, but I have bought it several times, and I really, really goddamn enjoy it. It's just a really goddamn good video game. Yeah, I would say Click Holding is probably in my top 5 because it's so fucking weird and unsettling. Not the Hearthstone expansion that's coming out tomorrow because I haven't played it yet, obviously, and because I haven't really enjoyed what I've seen of it so far. But there was a Hearthstone expansion this year, the last one, which I enjoyed quite a bit. A lot of cool cards, some cool new mechanics. So I did enjoy that. So I would say that probably would end up on my top 10. A Hearthstone expansion from this year, because I think this has been a pretty good year for Hearthstone expansions. You bought it on console. Yeah, I bought it on PC and I bought it on mobile. So that's my several purchases of Balatro, my 2 purchases. TCG Card Shop Simulator is a late edition. That's just really good. The prologue, I believe, is still free on Steam if you want to pick that up. And the game itself is in early access. And that is just a phenomenal goddamn video game that I am really enjoying. I don't think I'm ever going to stream it again, but I had a lot of fun with it. I might stream it sometime, but I just had such a good time with that. I am still figuring out my anime top 10. I also don't know, so the last 2 years, I just did a co-host post of it and then did a video, but co-host isn't a going concern anymore. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to write up a top 10. I think I'm going to put out a tweet hey, if you have a website that does top 10 lists and you want to include my anime top 10 list, let me know. But the video will go up. It'll go up in December. So I do have to start getting that together because the idea is that I'm going to have the video done for December 23rd. On December 23rd, you will know what my top 10 anime are for 2024. I will say I don't think Zom 100 made the list. I said Zom 100 would be eligible for the list because the last 3 episodes of that show didn't come out until Christmas, basically. So they were not eligible for me. But maybe if I really, because I didn't really love how it wrapped up. So it's not going to be in my top 10. Right now, I don't think I have any shows that are going to be out of my top 10 that people would be really mad about. I think people are going to be mad at my placement of Dungeon Meshi because people love that anime more than I do. So that might end up being quote unquote controversial for some people that's not going to blow up the charts because I liked it, but I didn't love it. I don't know. I'm not sure how people are going to feel about me and some of these games, some of these anime and how I feel about them. But I don't know. So far, only one show in the fall season is really doing it for me. And if I include it, it does mean that it has to. Actually, when does it wrap up? Do I want to wait till January because there is a show that I would put in my top 10, but maybe I need to finish it to put in my top 10? Ugh. I have to decide. I think I'm going to include it anyway, even if it's not done, because it's so good. I might include it anyway and just be like, it could turn out like the last couple episodes are really bad, but I don't imagine they will be. I'm talking about Dan to Dan, because if there's any show from this season that'll end up my top 10, it's Dan to Dan, because everything else this season I like, but I don't know if I like it enough to force its way in. And then last season would be Oshinoko season 2. And I don't know what else. But this year in anime was really top heavy. The other show that might end up in there, and actually I want to see if is it a 2-core? What's going on with ReZero? I need to check out if ReZero is a 2-core, because then maybe I will hold off till next year on that. But if it's not, and it's just happening here, then it might make my list because it's really fucking good. Where is it? There it is. It's a Wednesday show. That is going to be 16 episodes, so it's going to go into next year. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to go into next year. Maybe I should wait until next year to do my top 10 list and not do it this year. Maybe. Because I want to wait for all this to be done. Last year, it made sense to me to do it at the end of December because I just knew what I knew, like, these are the shows that I like, and this is my top 10 list. So maybe I want to wait till January and do it in January. I don't know. My favorite thing about Dan to Dan is manga fans posing, like, wait, I've been spelling it Dan to Dan, etc. this whole time. Yes, a bunch of people are confused about, is it Dan to Dan, or is it Dan to Dan, or is it Dan to Dan? Lots of confusion. We will talk about this past week's episode of Dan to Dan, because I didn't talk about it on Saturday because I had my charity stream on Saturday and didn't talk about anime during it. But first, we're going to do a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel and what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk about here is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. If you would like to, I would love to have you hang out and support. You're under no obligation to. We will get back to Lego building. We're going to finish this build. But I do want to just say that, yeah, hey, we're going to talk about ways you can support the channel. These are things that are optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 Blue Emote into chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon linked with your Twitch, you get this token. You can use that token for anybody. If you want to use it for me, that would be great, and I would love that. But you don't have to do that. You do not have to, but if you want to, you could. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I got to do this thing here. If you are going to subscribe, make sure you do it through a web browser. Don't do it through the Twitch app. Never use the Twitch app because you have to pay the Apple tax or the iOS tax. You could also gift a sub. We've had no gifted subs this month. We are currently at, 24 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up at 40. If you want to become a subscriber, you could do that now. If you want to gift a sub, you could do that. Bits and coins are always appreciated. If you want to be at the top of the the cheerleader board, you could do that as well. Those are all the ways to help me out right here on Twitch because you're already here in the ecosystem. So you could subscribe or gift a sub or whatever. Again, you don't have to do any of that. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. For a little while there, I was at 2,069 followers. I'm now at 2,064, which is a bummer. It was nicer to be at 2,069. Other things I can tell you about. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. That's right. I've been doing it so long that I have the quote unquote, what was it called? I have the quote unquote cheap tier. I have the $1 tier, the cheapest tier possible. So you can get in on that if you want to get in on that. So, help me on Patreon at the various tiers. My $10 patrons just voted on what I'm building next. That is the thing they have there. Coming this weekend, my $3, $5, and $10 patrons will vote on what I do next Tuesday. Take a look, see if there's something that you'd like to do there, if there's a tier that works for you. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can subscribe for free, of course. But if you want to become a member for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos a day early. So tomorrow you will see a video that other people have to wait, and you'll find out what the November plan is. Well, my plan of action here is in November, because I have a new theme every month for my Wednesday videos, and the new theme starts on Wednesday, but you get to see it on Tuesday, which is pretty fun. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you want to make a one-time gift, a tip, if you will, you can do that through my Ko-Fi or my PayPal. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And out of that fund, I take money out to buy model kits and Lego sets. This thing right here, my background remover is going to hate. I was able to purchase that with your generosity. Past you is helping out present me. If you want to help out future me, you can support me in any one of those ways. Also, there's another way to help me out. If you want to help me out, there's another way to do it. And that is to go to my Amazon wish list. If you want to buy something for me to build, you can buy it on my Amazon wish list. It'll come to me in the mail, of course. I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing that you purchased, and then it jumps to the queue and becomes the next thing I build. And it's not something from my backlog. It's something that you bought. I got Lego sets. I got model kits. I have inexpensive kits. I have expensive kits. I wanted to point out that there's the Mega Constructs Pokemon kit. The Doug Trio kit is currently 46% off. It's $16 instead of the usual $30. I would love to build that. Apparently the Doug Trio move. It's a motion thing, and the three heads bob up and down. I'd love to build that. Letting you know that's inexpensive right now. But I got model kits and Lego sets, and I recently added in some more kind of pricey kits. I'm trying to put in all of the kits from Gundam Seed Forever, the movie, because a few more of those came out. So I added that to the list. Those are pricey, but great looking kits. The Gundam Seed Freedom. I said Forever. It's Gundam Seed Freedom. But yeah, there's the Gyanstorm or Gyanstrom, which is a really cool looking Gyam. And there was one other one that I recently added to the list, and I can't remember what it's called. But it was recently added to the list, and they're a bit on the pricey side, but they look really cool. So if you'd like to see me build one of those kits, you can buy it from my Amazon wish list, and it'll come in the mail, and then I'll build it. We'll get back to building real soon. I will tell you that I have a throne wish list. This is my alternative to Amazon. Take a look at my throne list. See if there's something there you'd like to see me build. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is through USA Gundam Store. You go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. And then you get that gift card code. And then you will send me a whisper here on Twitch, or you can send me a DM on Twitter, or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. Discord, I guess you can reach out on Discord. And I'll use that gift card code to buy a model kit from USA Gundam Store. I should say that I did just get a very flattering message that someone wants to tell me that they think my manners are very graceful and they would like to chat, which is a lovely sentiment from this fake ass person that is definitely not real, that I just blocked. So that Twitter is going great, going real good. I mean, I am fairly great. I'm not graceful. I would never say that about myself. I have a Discord. If you want to join me on my Discord, just mention Discord messages. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. The Discord is nice, and we would love to have you there. You're welcome to come hang out on the Discord. Let's see. Couple video links for you to check out. The most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club is a video about Suma Show. We needed to talk about Suma Show in some format. Suma Show is an anime that Crunchyroll decided to license and somewhat promotes, despite it being like the manga version of it had some detractors who don't like the content of it, but they don't know what the content is. They don't like what they imagine the content is. But also what it really is it worth defending? So it's a very strange thing. And so I kind of freeform talked about that. And I'm glad I made that video. And I'm glad it didn't get me canceled, I guess. Let's see. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. October, all through the month of October, I was talking about some of my favorite shows from the previous season, the summer season. And so I talked about A Journey Through Another World, Raising Kids While Adventuring, which is a very cute show. It might not be the best anime show of last season, but it was very cute. And if you're looking for a fun isekai with adorable kids and a fun Big Brother type and some fun animal friends, it is a joyful little experience. So I wanted to give a big up to that. And then also, if you wanted to donate to my Extra Life page, which is still up, I did get one donation after the stream was over. If you didn't get a chance to donate and you would like to, that's my page. I've reached $261. Would love to go even farther with that. And I also still have my stream embedded there. So if you go over to that, my stream is there and you can watch that. I don't know why you would, but you can. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 2 anime episodes. One that I watched this weekend, one that I watched last week. So it'll be fun for me to try to remember what happens in episode 5 of Dan to Dan. I think I have notes, so I'll be okay. Before I get into that, I am going to drink some water because I am in need of that. And we will dramatically transition back to the overhead camera right now. All right. We're going to talk about episode 5 of Dan to Dan. And let me look at my notes. Episode 5 of Ranma 1/2. We'll talk about those two right now as we build whatever these things are. I'll build this while I talk about it. Episode 5 of Dan to Dan. Now, as we know, in episode 4 we left off, they have defeated Turbo Granny. Everything is right in the world. And these two unlikely friends go back to school to just live their school life and kind of figure that out. But like, this adventure they went on is over. So what are they going to do? They kind of chat at school and then they kind of go their separate ways. Okarun gets, people try to pick on him. He just kind of ignores them. He doesn't really care. Momo are convinced that she's having, Momo's friends are convinced she's having a fight with her ex-boyfriend again. Okarun is kind of just like fine because he's like, well, I have a friend I could talk to. They both kind of want to find each other. There is a fun little bit where they like go to the wrong places. They miss each other. Grandma's fun. Grandma's great. We'll see Grandma later in this episode. But yeah, there's some instances where they are trying to track each other down and are unable to. Oh, okay. So these go here. Like this. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. This thing fucking has a fucking trap, right? Yes. Okay. So this thing has a goddamn trap and stuff can fall. That's kind of fun. That's neat. Got a little kidded movement there, and then a trap. This cool. There's some cool shit going on in this particular nonsense. So they try to find each other. They can't find each other. Eventually, they do run into each other. It's kind of fun. But then they're arguing, and they're arguing in front of her friends, and it's a whole thing. They don't want Momo's friends to think they're dating because that just makes things awkward. But they do think that. They think they're confused about what's going on with that. And then Okarun goes to the bathroom, and something is wrong, and we're not aware of what that is. We do find out what that is, but at this moment, we don't quite know what's going on with our boy, except that something is wrong. And we do know that earlier he had an issue with his banana. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, there is a moment where her friends are teasing her about him because they're like, "What's going on with this? What's happening here?" There's a bit where Okarun is freaked out and wants to talk to Momo, and Momo is like, "You're making this work." Like Momo does not want to talk to him, and it's a whole goddamn thing. We have a brief moment where Okarun bumps into Arya, and they chat a bit, and that didn't seem to go anywhere, but maybe that's going to go somewhere later. And then Arya and her friend talk shit about Okarun when he's not in earshot. So Momo uses her powers so that Arya gets hit, and then she falls, and Okarun's like, what just happened there? And doesn't put it together that, oh, my friend made something happen with her psychic powers. So that might lead to something else. It might just be a moment. Momo apologizes to Okarun as they walk home, and basically it's just like, hey, so my balls are missing? So they go over to the house to see what's going on with Seiko, the grandma, and be like, hey, so stuff's going on. Things are weird. Can you help us? So they're going to have to help each other. I love these complete dumbasses. Yes, Lashbrook. These are great dumbasses. So there's some kind of aura inside of Okarun, and Seiko's just like, hey, use your psychic abilities, pull that thing out. And it escapes. And it ends up jumping inside a doll and then running around. And so they have this like cat and mouse chase trying to get this doll. And apparently that doll is Turbo Granny. In the fighting, Turbo Granny ended up somewhat possessing our boy Okarun, but not enough to take over Okarun. But that's the reason why Okarun's balls aren't there. And then apparently, she orders Okarun she's trying to control Okarun. She's like, kill them. And Okarun ends up transforming, which he shouldn't have the powers he got briefly from Turbo Granny before. But also, she's not in control of him because when they pulled out the aura, they didn't pull out her abilities, I guess. It wasn't confusing. I just didn't quite understand what was going on. But I think that was more me than anything else. But it's complicated. And Momo's just like, hey, if you give Okarun his balls back, we'll give you your powers back, and we'll make a deal with you. Also, Okarun turns back to normal because he turned into a monster there because Granny threatened them and tried to order him to hurt them, and so that's like maybe it's his transformations are now linked to emotions. They are maybe emotion based. All right, so now I got to put these lily pad things. One goes in the water here. So we'll put that. I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and that. Okay, great. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, so that goes there. This one goes here. And then this one goes here. So the episode's end with Turbo Granny is like, okay, great. This exchange makes sense. This trade makes sense to me. Anyway, I lost his balls. Hard cut episode end. So Turbo Granny not gone, but not necessarily in control about what's happening here. But also, Turbo Granny apparently does not have these balls that our boy needs. He needs his balls. So more hijinks. Story not over. Really weird. I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. I thought it was really, really solid. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm trying to get this treasure chest where all the items in it can just kind of show up here. And that's not going to work out. So I'm just going to place them in there, and that's fine. I don't know where... I have to place some stuff that they didn't tell me where to place it. I don't know where this goes. It goes over here. Okay. And then this goes here. Goes here. As I take some photos of this thing, and the various ways you can set up things here. Oops. We'll do that. I will talk to you about the episode of Ranma 1/2. We still not have had my favorite character show up yet, but we did learn more about Ryoga, and also it was a very fun of the romantic comedy elements of the show. There was a discussion going on in an anime forum where someone was saying that they don't really... They're trying Ranma 1/2, but it's not enough action for them. And to which I say, oh, well, yeah, then you're not going to necessarily love it, because this is not an action series with some romance. It's a romantic comedy with featuring martial artists. Like, that's, yeah, if you were here just for the action, then this is not going to be the thing for you. It's a comedy with some martial arts that in this case does look real good, but it's not like, that's not the thing. So it might not be to your liking. It is to my liking. Let's see. Can I drop these on the... Can I... Yeah, they do fall on them. This is very silly. This trap is very silly. But we can do this here where... is there a good way to show this? You're just hanging out. Everything's cool. You defeated a skeleton. Boom! Other skeleton appears. Very silly. Very silly and fun. Good silly time. There. This is a cool little set. I had fun putting this together. All right, is that gonna be in the way of this sliding in? No, it will be good. Okay, as I take some photos of this thing, because this is done here and I have completed it, I'll take some photos and I'll tell you a little bit about this episode of Ranma 1/2. Episode 5. The end of the previous episode, in a fight between Ryoga, who has been following Ranma around the world and ended up here in Tokyo. One of his weapons accidentally cut Akane's hair, which made her really pissed off, as one would imagine. And a bunch of people want to know what happened to Akane, and Ranma's like, don't worry about it. And so this is Ranma in female form is like, hey, I get it. This sucks. You can slap us. No problem. And Akane slaps both of them and then leaves. And There's a flashback. Now, she does have a crush on Dr. Tofu, but this flashback makes it very clear that Dr. Tofu has always had a crush on Kasumi. And one of the reasons why Akane was growing her hair long was to be more adult, like Kasumi is. And so then they end up in a nice moment cutting her hair to make it look like it's cut on purpose instead of it being an accident. And Ranma feels bad about what happened. Both, Ranma, especially boy version Ranma, feels bad about what happened in the thing here. So we'll put that there and then bonk it on the head. All right. Very fun. This is a very fun set. I'll show this off in some angles here while I talk through this anime episode here. There we go. See here. Boom. Boom. Got treasure chest. Got a waterfall back here. Got these little things that fall off, so you don't want to hold them at a weird angle. Got your traps. We got Steve hanging out up here. Got 3 skeletons. Oops, I just knocked that off. A fun little set. Oh yeah, this thing also moves around. Make that move around. It's a nice bit of business. This is a fun Lego set. Put this over here. And we're going to wrap that up. So I'm going to do this here. We're going to put on the cold there. This is, as I said, a reprint. This is a 2003 kit, but this is a reprint here. You can tell because the box is very compact and small. But all these parts are again, these did not get printed in 2003, but they're going to say that this is a 2003 design, but it is not a 2003 printing. I don't know what year these came out. It wasn't super recent, but again, it's a reissue. So while the kit itself might not have old plastic, it is certainly an old ass design. And shouldn't take super long to build, but it should be a fun little build. Very small instructions. I don't love that, but it is what it is. And then we got C, A, B1 and B1. Okay, so we got 3 here. A, B, C. Yeah, I don't expect this to be a super long build, but we'll get into it. A, B, and C. Some polycaps, some stickers. We'll get into that kit now. Let's see. So yeah, Akane got her sister to actually like trim her hair, so it actually looks like it was on purpose. It's supposed to be that way. Ranma wants to apologize, and they end up having to Tofu's place, and he compliments her on her hair, to which Akane like kind of cries about it, because she's finally starting to try to get over it. And then Ranma kind of congratulates her like, "Hey, congrats on getting Kim to compliment you." Because he's picking up the idea that she has feelings for him. And Akane says it doesn't matter because she knows that Tofu has always loved Kasumi, and she's finally coming to terms with that. And it's a nice little. These are nice little moments. Ranma has an opportunity to be nice and say that she looks great with short hair, and he likes it. Like he has an opportunity to be nice to her. And he even wonders aloud, he's like, do I think you look cute? To which she then pushes him into a nearby river, turning him into a girl, because of course he does. But that is not nastiness. That is her, I think, flirting with him. Then Ryoga found out where they're living, and Ryoga showed up because he wants to fight Ranma. And they end up in the hot spring. And girl Ranma is yelling at Ryoga for waking him up. And also she's like, hey, why are you even mad at me? And so we find out what happened in the last episode. And apparently, Ryoga followed Ranma to China. And so immediately Ranma's just like, oh, I wonder if he also is turning into something. Like, does he turn into a girl or is he also going through transformation problems? Like, immediately he wonders if he also got cursed in China. So they start fighting. Akane and Kasumi wake up because a stranger is yelling and they don't know who it is, and they can't see. But Akane ends up throwing a dumbbell, and Ryoga drops his umbrella and runs away. Ranma chases after him. And a dog growls at Ranma. He finds Ryoga's clothes. And then a dog shows up and growls, and he goes, oh, this must be Ryoga. So there's a whole bunch of little scenes where Ranma is convinced that a dog is Ryoga, and so he's talking to the dog and trying to coax the dog to come with him. Meanwhile, there's a pig that shows up and attacks Akane, and Akane stops the pig. And Akane's like, I'll help you out. Ranma shows up with the dog, and Akane shows up with the pig. But apparently the dog's name is Beth, and it belongs to a neighbor, so Ranma was wrong. And Ranma even pours water on the dog, and the dog doesn't turn back into Ryoga. So Akane's just like, Akane and Ranma split up to go take separate baths, and the pig ends up with Ranma. Turns out, hey, that pig is Ryoga. Ryoga turns into a pig, which of the three options is probably the worst one. If you got to think about being a panda man that can't talk, because pandas don't talk, a girl, or a pig, like a small pig, I think I would go with girl. I guess that would be my option. I would go with girl. I certainly don't think I would go with. I need C12 and I need PCK. So I need this one. I certainly wouldn't go with pig. That's just my opinion. You can have a different opinion on that one. But I would definitely not go with pig. I think pig is probably the bad option there. C12. So he explains what happens, and then Ranma apparently Ranma did it to Ryoga. And Genma knew this and quote unquote tried to help the pig, but then the pig almost died. Ryoga and Ranma fight again because Ranma wants them to like talk it out. Ryoga is not interested in talking it out. Akane shows up. She is unaware that Ryoga is a pig, so she just thinks that her fiance is being mean to a random pig, which he is being mean to a pig, but it's more complicated. So Akane takes Ryoga with her to her room to go back to bed. Ranma breaks into the room to spray water on the pig. And they fight. Ranma ends up in a romantic comedy bullshit nonsense thing, falling onto Akane while she is in bed. Very, very Three Stooges meets Three's Company. It's a lot of threes. Akane wakes up, slaps Ranma, and then Judo tosses him out of a window. And then everyone the next morning everybody is mad at Ranma. Now Ranma, of course, was trying to prevent the pig man from being in the same room with Akane, but he doesn't, because it is a romantic comedy nonsense. He doesn't go, that's a guy that transforms. You know how my dad becomes a panda? That's Ryoga in pig form. Instead, he just gets beat up. And then Akane, yeah. It's nonsense. It's very silly. The early part that is fun, that is fun about this is that I really do love the fact that they are like, okay, so going through the whole motions of the breakup, or not the breakup, but the kind of coming to terms with the childhood crush, and finally realizing that it's never going to happen, and and that our girl needs to move on. Also, we do finally understand why Ryoga is still so mad at Ranma, not just because he fell into the pool and now he turns into a pig, but because Ranma's dad handed him off and that person tried to cook Ryoga. So you actually think, why wouldn't you want to fight Genma? But whatever. He blames Ranma for the whole situation. Now, if he hadn't chased Ranma, this wouldn't have maybe happened. But that is blaming the victim, and I'm not here for that. Yeah, it's a good anime. This is a great adaptation. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really digging Ranma 1/2. I do believe that this anime. I want to find the. I had this written down somewhere, and I think I deleted it by mistake. Let me quickly see if I can find this thing. Be in there. We'll be there. The anime trending charts in Japan. They rank characters for the first time ever. The same character is charting in both men's and women's, male and female categories. Ranma boy is ranked number 3. And Ranma girl, Ranma-chan, is ranked number 9. They've both entered the top male and female of the week charts for anime trending, which is an account that the top 10 anime of the week polls and rankings, official anime news from Japan. It doesn't really mean anything, but it is kind of cool. But it is an international vote thing that a lot of people vote in, and it's the first time that a character is charted on both. Because Ranma does have male and female versions. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think it is a really fun series here. And so I am glad that some nonsense is happening there, and it's enjoyable. Let's see. And don't know if there's anything else I need to say about that. I'm enjoying it. On Thursday, I will talk about last week's episode of Dragon Ball Daima, because I don't want to do 2 in a row. I'm gonna continue to watch Dragon Ball Daima. I was trying to convince myself that I was gonna give it up. I'm gonna stick it through. I enjoyed this episode, which we'll talk about on Thursday, and then of course we'll also talk about. No, of course we will talk about. I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down in History, because I do like chatting about that. So we will talk about that episode of I'll Become a Villainess. I should. Wait. I should look that up. I'll Become a Villain. I'm 1 week behind. I still don't know if I'm gonna go back and get caught up, because I'm 1 episode behind. I don't know if I'm gonna catch up on that, but maybe I will. I don't know. But I am enjoying it. So I think I'm going to keep watching it. Um, because I'll Become a Villain, This Goes Down in History is fun. And I do like a fun anime now and again. Now is the part of the stream, though, where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I always like to hear from you about those things. I completed the Alan Wake 2 DLC, The Lake House. I don't remember if I talked about that on Thursday, but I have completed it. It's good. It's real good. I think I did talk about this on Thursday, but I'll just reiterate that I did finish it. I did really enjoy it. I am very much looking forward to more Control. Also that Left 4 Dead-like Control game. Me and my friends are looking forward to playing that when that comes out, because we like those kind of multiplayer games. So I'm excited for that. I can't get this to fit right. I don't know why. This is not fitting right. So I want to see if any of these are not cut properly. Actually, looks like some of these here have a little bit of extra bullshit in them. So I was going to quickly hit this with the X-Acto blade and try to clean this up a little bit here. I'm going to try to do it very carefully because I don't want to cut through anything and I don't want to cut myself. But yeah, I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching? What are you up to? What are you into? Did you do anything fun this weekend? Did you watch other Extra Life streams and some of that nonsense? What were some of their highlights of that? Let me know in the chat. I like to hear from you about those things. I do unfortunately have some bad news for me personally, personal news, that we are wrapping up my D&D campaign. This is the second campaign that I have done with this crew. We are going to finish up at the end of the year. Our DM has been cooking up some stuff. We have 3 sessions left before we retire the group. Our DM is getting very busy. They are going to be getting married next year, and so their focus is on a lot of their free time has to go towards wedding planning, which I understand, and I am thrilled for them, and so I hope that everything goes well for them with that. And one of our members has just gotten really busy with her job and probably has to get out of that. And then another member has been offered a spot in a game that meets in person, an IRL, and she is interested in doing that. So me and another member are probably going to try to start a new crew. We might take some time off, but we're going to try to start a new crew. I might DM that. I'm still a part of my collective. So I will be trying to lean on that, and I think that the member of this group that isn't looking to take a break from D&D might join as well, because they've been hesitant because they were like, well, I'm in a game. I don't want to be in multiple weird little mini things. So now maybe he'll come in for that. But yeah, it's a bummer. I hope that I can find a regular crew, because I love D&D. We didn't meet every week, but we were like twice a month, and that was enough for me. So I'm hopefully going to be able to get a game going that can be a virtual game, because that's the only way I want to play, because I don't know people that play D&D here in South Carolina. So yeah, so kind of bummed about that. But we are gonna conclude. We have our schedule again. We're going to meet 3 more times in the next 2 months and wrap up by the end of December. And so I am pleased that we are not just deciding we're not going to meet again. We are going to finish things up. And there are good reasons for it. You know, people being busy. And then, of course, as I said, our DM is going to be focusing on their wedding, their upcoming nuptials. So good for them. Genuinely good for them. I'm going to read what y'all been writing. Ghost Valve was back into Mass Effect Collection in the middle of 2. Hell yeah. Caught up on Dandadan and Great British Baking Show. Hell yeah. I hope you're enjoying the Bacon Show. I hope you're enjoying the Dandadan. Lord Crashington says finished up the second and third episode of DB Daima as they start figuring out what's going on, and then Goku immediately has to leave for the Demon Realm, which is full of heavy gas and weird burgers. Yeah, the Demon Realm is pretty fun. The bar fight was like the first thing I really liked about Daima, because it wasn't just setup of a bunch of characters and worlds and how things work and the mechanics of things, which I like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's been pretty focused on that. So when they did start getting into some fisticuffs, I was like, okay, well, that at least is fun. I was hoping to watch Jan's stream, Jan's extra stream, but yeah, he had to deal with a health issue. And hopefully, look, I don't want him to do that nightmare stream, but I do hope his health is okay, because Jan rules, and I want good things for him. I watched the first 2 episodes of Invincible Fight Girl on Max. It's a very anime-inspired show about a girl who wants to be a wrestler. Yeah, I've been seeing ads for that, and I have not watched it yet. I would like to watch that, so hopefully I will be able to check that out in the future. And then Lashbrook says, let's see, I finished Agatha All Along, which was great. I haven't watched it. I also saw Conclave in the theater, which was a great drama focusing on electing a new pope. Oh yeah, that's that pope drama that seemed pretty cool. You're taking a break from metaphor as I play a much cozier game, Dragon Age. Nice, Aristofan. Yeah, like I said, I'm not. I have not made any choice. I have not made a decision on Dragon Age. Dragon Age is a game that I might get in the future, but right now I have no plans to pick that up. But it would be kind of neat to get in the future. Hey, Stabby, happy to have you here. Welcome. I did like the bit where Goku and Piccolo have trouble flying in their small form, though I didn't understand why Goku was afraid of falling off stuff when he could still fly. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I really recommend the first episode on YouTube. Oh, nice. Nice. Good to hear. Gearing up for a bunch of other charity stuff this coming week. There more people doing Extra Life stuff. We will, while it is happening, when it starts, we will be rating for the next several streams. Desert Bus, once that kicks off, I do have a submitted this or that for Desert Bus. I don't know what night they're going to do it. Usually they end up doing it while I'm watching wrestling or streaming here. It just so happens that's the case. Graham doesn't always tell me in advance when he's going to do mine, but he should be doing it, and I will of course bump it because he should have it. I think I sent it to him, and he liked the idea of it. It's a good one. This one, the idea for it came to me like in the summer, and so I wrote it down, and then I think I figured it out like 2 months ago. Some this or that's don't come to me that quickly, and some do. But yeah, we'll come to that when the time comes, and figure out what that is. And eventually, there will be a clip up on the Desert Bus YouTube, and I will just send that clip out of them playing my this or that. I never submitted Gundam or Putnam because I did that for the Giant Bomb Live, so I didn't want to reuse it, but I always have in my back pocket Gundam or Putnam. Those are characters from a Gundam series or characters that were from Putnam County Spelling Bee, which was apparently an intersection of stuff. Jan was like, oh, I could nail this, so we had Abby do it by herself because Jan was like, no, I'm going to know those. And he did apparently know most of them. And Abby didn't know it either, which is great and what you want. I'm glad to be working tomorrow so you're not looking at Twitter too much. Oh, yeah, I just want to say, hey, Twitter's a bad place to be tomorrow. I'm going to be promoting my streams, and that's pretty much it. Twitter's always a bad place, but especially tomorrow it's going to be a bad place because, one, the person who owns it is incentivized for various things and things. So, you know, U.S. elections. But at this point, we are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find somebody else doing cool shit and go give them some love and go hang out with them. And then a reminder, tomorrow night, your vote matters in that you can play some Jackbox survey games with me. It's basically like a bunch of fun nonsense, different categories, different styles of survey things. I have played a bit of it. I look forward to playing more of it with you on stream. I did purchase it. This was not a gift from Rich. He has gifted me several Jackbox games, but this one I paid for. I did not ask for a code for it. We will be playing that tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, so please check that out. We're rating Mary Kish. It's Mary Monday. Mary is playing Echo Point Nova, and it immediately looks pretty cool. So we'll go check out with Mary in a moment. Reminder, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, as I said, playing some survey stuff, the new Jackbox. We'll play that. It'll be a good time. Come hang out for that. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for sticking around if you came in on the raid. I hope to see you on the next stream. Hope tomorrow or Thursday for more model kit building. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.